Salon Talk. Hey, I am Coach Lee Hill, and we have the beautiful Dawn Ferguson. Hey, Dawn.
Hi there. I love those colors. You look
Thank
amazing.
you. Look, I'm trying to stay tropical because you know what time it is. You know, Labor Day is coming and all that, so the colors got to change. I was like, I don't want to say bye to my colors. Well, I see you over here. Let me. Oh, I see you today. Oh, you already ready. The scarf is on
Well,
point.
I'm in my moo.
You in a moo honey? You look fabulous
It's
as
just
always.
why,
Yes.
why, thank you. It's just a robe.
I started with some brown too. I was like, I need to get back in my tan, but we're gonna get to it. How are you doing? I have not been feeling well, Dawn. I've not been feeling
Oh,
well,
I'm
so
so sorry to hear that.
I'm doing huh?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're,
What's going on with the hair wrap? I like that right there.
you know my
It's,
hair wrap. I'm just
yes.
I'm in my rap season, so yeah.
Okay, honey. Yes, yes,
You know,
yes. So
I love leopard.
you love leopard? Okay, so that's
Mhm.
something I need to know. Even though you got everything.
I don't need anything else.
I know. I can see y'all like, why would she buy me this? I just told her you open up a whole boutique, and I'm bringing you
Oh
more
yeah,
clothes. You're like Lee.
yes,
All right. So welcome
yes.
to Salon Talk. I am Coach Lee Hill, and we have the beautiful co-host, celebrity hairstylist, makeup artist, Dawn Ferguson. I don't know why I always want to curse when I say your name,
You want to curse?
Dawn.
What comes to your mind? And you don't even curse.
Dawn Mother
I'm
Ferguson.
fucking
I don't
Ferguson.
know
Oh, I
why.
like that one.
Girl.
I like that.
So we are doing
Thank
today part
you.
two. What we doing today? Part two of natural versus um what we said, natural versus Barbie. Um
Build a Barbie.
yes, build a Barbie. So we got
Hmm.
that going on today. Now, Don, have you did any statistics? Because I wasn't able to call you. Did you pull up any statistics like you did the other day?
On the yes, the most popular cosmetic surgeries.
Okay. Okay. So what I looked up too, I went and looked up let me see, I know I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. I
Hmm.
went and looked up like what women go through plastic surgery. But before I go into that, I'm gonna get a segue. And the reason why today I was watching, I know people been like, oh, we been watch that Bridgerton, not the Charlotte one, but the Bridgerton one.
Yes.
And one of the things I have to talk about that I was like, man, why we can't be like this anymore? On Bridgerton, I don't know, am I saying it right, Bridgerton? Girl, I'm on season 1, episode 4. Listen, when that brother, she wanted that the brother, it was between the Duke and the Prince, and
Uh
the Duke
huh.
told her, marry the Prince. And
Yes.
that girl said, and she was in there getting fitted, and she got home, she said, I'm not putting that on. She became main character. That part right there, Don, she became main character. She said, I'm not putting that on. Get that silver piece. And remember, and you know how you like to do my hair? She said, yeah. She said, go ahead. When that sister came out, listen, I was going crazy. And I was
Yes.
thinking to myself how this ties in with the topic natural versus Barbie, a creative Barbie or whatnot, right? How in those days you simplified yourself, your beauty, it wasn't about plastic surgery. We are now living in a day and time. And I know it's like, Luther, that was like centuries ago. And I get it. But women did not go to the extreme to be so, you know what I mean, so perfect. That
Right.
sister just went and she came, when she came out, the whole room shift. The whole room shift, and she just was handling it. I was like, dang, she became the main character. But I just love it. And that gown was everything, honey. And she was just poised and she just walked. And I was like, oh my God, I just love this show. So I'm on cloud nine, y'all. Listen, I went to bed at 5 last night, yesterday morning. This morning I went to bed at 5. So we're gonna probably do that again. I'm gonna be binge watching. But I was just looking at that and I was like, look how we transitioned for years. Of course, we're centuries later, but our mindset is if I don't like it, I'll get this done. And the thing
Right.
that is mind boggling me, and I was talking to my guy friend, and he was saying, I don't understand why women do all of this stuff to their body. He was like, be happy with what you have. And I said, well, sometimes you do need to do such and such. He was like, okay. But he said, but you're gonna get old. So you're gonna be looking crazy because you're going to get old. So no matter what kind
Right.
of surgery you do, you know what I'm saying? And then it just made me think about, and he talked about some of the celebs that have gone to get butt surgery done and all this stuff done in their 60s. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. What do you have to say to that, Don? I had to come in with that because I was just like, that's that segueing into that whole thing. But y'all, I'm like, this owl got to hurry up so I can get back to Bridgerton. What you
I
got to
think
say
when it
on
comes
that?
to the cosmetic surgery, a lot of us really don't consider the aftercare. You know what I mean? You're not a celebrity. Like, you don't think about the post care of your surgery. Okay.
Right.
Like, first of all, you have to feel so insecure. You have to have major insecure issues to go and
Mm-hmm.
have this particular service done. You're going on under the knife. We all know how serious surgery is. You can lose your life, right? So you don't
Right.
go have surgery unless you have to have surgery. So you have to be your security level about this, your complex about this particular item has to be beyond 10, right? So
Right.
you have to see the mental state of the person that desires this particular style. It's between, I mean, particular service. But I don't think we ever think about the post care, because I have
Mm.
clients that go in and have the surgery. You have to identify someone who's going to care for you. You had a tummy tuck. You really don't realize how, of course, after you have kids, your body is not the same. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I want mom makeover, right? I want my body back
Right.
before these kids
Right.
like stretch my body all out. So I totally get it. But the
Mm-hmm.
post care, because you don't realize that you're not using those muscles. You really don't
Mm.
realize how much you use those muscles until it's time to use those muscles, right?
Right.
The
Right.
bacteria, the infection, the smell,
Mm.
no one's saying, no one's thinking about that. How are
Right.
you gonna care for yourself afterwards? So that's my thing on the cosmetic surgery, is the
Mm-hmm.
post-op.
Yeah.
Do you really have someone to look after your children once you go and have this service done? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times they get the the check, and it's like that self-esteem is just so low. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
just be like, okay, I'm gonna go in and I have the money. Here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and
Right.
get me some butt implants, and then you get sick or you die. And now who's
Mm-hmm.
who's there to take care of your kids? Because this has happened, right?
Right.
So we don't think about the consequences of such um low insecurity.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's
Listen.
you are so insecure about that particular item you're going in to have it surgically done, and it's like it's nothing.
Right. You know what? I really wanted to dive into today, like the psychological part of it, because
Uh-huh.
it's this guy, this comedian, Corey Holcomb, and I know a lot of people don't like him, but I actually like him. He's very cynical, and he be off the. I don't agree with everything he say, but sometimes he be hitting the nail on the head. And I think he was on the football player show, and he was talking about the mindset of a person that goes and get the surgery. Now, I'm gonna tell you this, and I had a sister come, and I always use this as an example. I thought it was cute and funny, but I understood her. She said, I had 6 kids, my breast was in my pockets. I went and got my breast done.
Right.
You can't argue with this lady. You know what I'm saying? She said, I got to
Right.
maintain my marriage. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You couldn't,
That was the
you couldn't
number
argue
one
with that.
surgery. That's the number one surgery.
Right. And she said, and you know, and when you think back, I was like, well, shoot, my mom had
Mm-hmm.
6 kids, and I know
Yes.
if she had the opportunity, she would have got hers done too. So I'm not, I want people to understand we're not coming to bash people and be like, oh my God,
Mhm.
plastic surgery is awful. But what I'm saying is like what Corey Holcomb was saying is like the fact that you got to be mentally something going on with you to get to a place where some people are doing surgeries
Can you turn
just
that
to
down,
look
please?
like other people. Like it's a bunch
Uh-huh.
of clones. I don't know if people understand that. It's a bunch of us that look the same. The body
Yeah.
shape is the same. I seen a family that everybody got. I know that everybody went to the same doctor to get their stuff done. Like everybody looked the same, you know. And I don't know if we're really paying attention to that. Now, I wanted to
Mhm.
talk about also, like when you said that, the psychological part of it. So this is the thing that I'm saying. When I looked at Bridgerton, that girl said, "Get my hairpiece, get my jewelry, get my accessories, and give me my gown." And she had that white gown on. She was absolutely gorgeous, right? And I
Mhm.
was like, that's how I be feeling. Like I'm just thinking about myself. Like if I'm having one of them bad days, I'd be like, you know what, Lethra, get out of the bed, put your clothes on, do your hair the best that you can, and make yourself feel good, right? And it does
Mhm.
bring something out of you. So I get it. But nowadays, people are like, you know what? I'm gonna just get surgery. They just be getting surgery just for whatever, you know.
Right.
And then so it says women experience an initial recovery with symptoms like swelling, bruising, pain, followed by gradual appearance of new physical contours and the long-term process of scar healing. Psychologically, many women report improved self esteem, confidence, and quality of life, though some experience regret. They say 30% of women regret getting the plastic surgery done. I'm probably the ones with that. And I'm going to tell you a story. I got a story about I took somebody to actually do plastic surgery. And if I did even think about doing plastic surgery, I would never do that just by watching that person. But they said they live to regret it. They deal with anxiety, sadness during recovery. Potential complications can include changes in sensation, such as temporary or permanent nerve damage, and scarring process may evolve over time. I look at that thing and I'm like, I don't want to do that. And a lot of them
Right.
say that they have to learn a new identity because they basically a lot of them they change their whole their whole look, their whole features and stuff like that. So that right there to me is, hold on y'all, I don't know if people want to see if they want to do that. Okay, I was like, I don't see nothing. Please tell me who is this? Hold on. Hi, what happened? Reply. I'm sorry. Who is this? Okay, this guy. Let me go ahead and leave them alone anyway. But anyway, so I was looking at that and I was just saying to myself, like, this is like just for us, like instead of looking at the simple things, and a lot of us we be feeling like we have these flaws and we really don't have these flaws that we're looking at. You know what I mean? Like my clients, I don't know if you can attest to this. My clients will say, like, oh, cover my forehead. And I'll be like, you don't even have a forehead. But in their mind, they have a big forehead. So they want to
Right.
bang. You know what I mean? So it's like simple things that we could just change. We go to the extreme. And I think that we have to dive into the psychological part of things because I tell people all the time, a lot of sisters, I'll be like, you are just drop dead gorgeous. And they can't see it. So we're in a
Mhm.
society now that tells women that if you don't look like that, then you need to go and alter everything. You need to risk your life and go to do these type of surgeries or whatnot. And not only just that, you're doing that when you're young, okay, middle age, you're 30, 40. But then when you get older, complications happen, things happen in your life, and then now you have to get medical surgery, and your body has gone through so much through the surgeries that you put in. So for me, it's like, when is enough enough? You know what I mean, Don? It's that's
Mhm.
like my thing. I'm like, I'm I'm grateful. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm grateful for myself that are there things that I wish I had? Yes, I wish I had a big butt. Growing up in Miami, you got to have the badonkadonk. I forgot what they used to call it. They call them tippers or whatever. You got to have the shape and all that stuff. But what I've learned to do is embrace what I have. I'm a slender girl or whatnot, and I just embrace what I have, and I make sure I look good in what I look good in, and I'm comfortable in
Mhm.
that. I never
Mhm.
thought about surgery. It doesn't make me better. I'm just grateful that I didn't those insecurities that I had, that I overcame them, so I didn't go to that level, because many of you are Barbies.
Mhm.
You're already Barbies. And when I say Barbie, I'm not talking about just the white Barbies. And I did a video and I was explaining them. We got black Barbies. We got, Sanaa Lathan. We have Nia Long. We got what's the girl? Tiana Taylor. You got beautiful girls, Sierra. You got these beautiful girls that are just naturally beautiful. And I just pray that they just keep it. Just keep it. You just stay right there. You know what I mean? And just grow old gracefully. Because we have seen other celebrities that doing have been doing these surgeries, and it has taken a toll over them to tell you don't even recognize them. I'm like, who is that? That's crazy. Don, you want to chime in? I'm sorry, I just was rambling on, but
Um, the beauty industry is image. That is the beauty industry.
uh-huh.
So we tend to mirror what we see, constantly from television, on social media. They do stories on how social media affects these kids in terms of how they view or see themselves. So the beauty industry has we service that part, starting with
Hmm.
the hair, right? You come in and the client already has issues with her curly hair. She has yet to accept that her hair is curly.
Right.
She wants to go in and put in or transform herself into something else. So you really do have to do a quick evaluation mentally on your client during the consultation time. What is actually going on with you? Because that's what we're doing to our hair, right? To our skin. You know,
Right.
this is what we're doing to our bodies in a more simplistic state. You know, as we go in and try and figure out what we're going to do with our hair.
Hmm.
The style that we're going to do destroy our hair? We have,
Mm.
what are we doing here? Because that's the same system in which you're going to uh cosmetic surgery to do with cosmetic surgery. The same thing applies, and the same method of thinking is how you feel about yourself.
Right.
Because the aftermath of that is, are you doing the work to maintain? Because you have to get yourself prepared for surgery. They tell you that, right? Say if you're going in for
Hmm.
something else, right? Knee surgery, having your ovaries removed, whatever surgery you're going to have besides cosmetic, you have to prep the body for that. And they give
Right.
you a psych evaluation. Are you mentally ready to have this procedure? You
Hmm.
know, you have Kanye West mother, God rest her soul, lost her life having a
Right.
cosmetic procedure. Two doctors had already told her no on the
Exactly.
on,
Yeah.
on the procedure. So we have examples that are out there that but we don't listen. So when it comes to the overall care and maintenance and 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 uh of the vessel,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
we have to do our due diligence and just say no. Do the internal work first.
Right.
Do the internal work first. Let me start with exercise. Let me start with changing my diet. Let me lay off the alcohol. Let
Mm.
me let me put in some steps as opposed to the elevator. You have to take an initial effort to make yourself healthy as possible before going in surgery. And the doctors tell you that. That's why you have to do a pre-op and you got to do a
Mm.
post-op. You know.
Man, that's Don. You speaking my language, like as far as um that goes. And now you mentioned something when you said Kanye West mom, and that happened. And I was thinking to myself, it's women that will do their hair, and you will do a consultation. And say, listen, I saved the video where this sister said she was getting her hair like a sew-in, right? And so the lady said to her, I'm gonna leave your edges out because they're thinning and they're weak. The girl said, catch it all up. I don't care. I don't want no edges out. She said, catch it all up. And the lady said it again like 3 times. To me personally, I get it because she was already done braided up the hair. So she was like, when she came up to the front part of it, she was like, oh no, let me tell her. So she forewarned her. I be thinking sometimes now, I think you need to get to a point where you make them sign stuff. But she went ahead and did the young lady's hair. Now I'm telling you, her hair is going to be gone because I looked at her head, her front, those edges. I was like, they already gone. Like you want her to catch up the strings, right? And I'm like, so we will do the extreme just for a short term time of uh what's the word? What they saying now? Where you get what is that called? But like an excitement or a little bit of attention because catch it all up because I already know the hairstyle and everybody may look at you and it looks great. The hairstyle comes out really nice, but at the end of the day, when you take that thing off, you're willing to risk being bald, and then you don't realize whether if that's going to be the last time that your edges grow back. So
Mm.
it's no difference from the plastic surgery. I'm just like making like the example of it. It's no different than having plastic surgery. They say, hey, we tell you, you know what I'm saying, this is probably not the surgery for you. This is what could happen. It's going to be complications, and people do it. We've seen people actually dying from it. I've seen them girls flying over to, I think it was Brazil or one of those countries, and getting it done, getting the butt thing done, and come back and died. I guess the stuff getting in their blood. Now I'm gonna tell you my experience with it. This happened to me, was it this year? What we in September? Yeah, this happened to me earlier this year. So I had a person that lived around me, right? She lived around me and we became cool. And she was like, hey, I'm having surgery done. And would you be able to pick me up? Because her relative that's with her wasn't able to drive. So I said, yeah, I'll pick you up because at the time I wasn't working, right? So I get up that morning, I take her down there, and they come over to her. And I remember them saying, are you sure you don't want the pain medication after the surgery? She was like, I don't need that. I'll take some Tylenol or whatever till I get my prescription. And I'm like, wait a minute, they about to cut on you, but I didn't know what kind of surgery she was having. So then
Mhm.
finally we wait. I was like, you know what, I'll wait with her daughter or whatever. And then we wait. And then next thing you know, a couple of hours later, we leave, we come back, and they say she's ready. They wheel her outside. When they wheel her out, Dawn, she's like, like this. And I'm like, now, I got a truck. So I'm like, oh my God, this lady got to get in a truck. and I see the bandages, like it looks all over the back. And I think they call it a 365 or 360, something they call this thing. But it was like
Mhm.
for a deal, 1999 or I don't know. But I'm looking at
1999. Oh my
girl,
goodness.
not like Charlie had, you know that here in Miami, they got their specials. They
Yeah, I
got their
remember
specials,
they
honey.
had a special back in the day in the salon. They had a Center for Cosmetic Surgery. And
Yes.
girl, honey, that was the thing back then. Center for Cosmetic Surgery, and they was carving and slicing and tucking and honey,
Now, now let me tell you, when we went into the place, everybody was on
yeah.
point, Don. Everybody was, I was like, now she bad. Now she bad. Like I'm looking around like, now they all looked alike. Everybody had the same
Yeah.
body type. I'm like, dang. And you let me tell you
Oh my
who
goodness.
pointed this out to me. Jay.
Uh-huh.
Jay.
Oh
He
wow.
was like,
Of
you
course
know what I'm
he's a
saying? When we was
man.
at the a man, he'd say, wow, she looked good, but she got that she got a BBL. I'm like, how can you tell? And you know what he said? He said that the thighs, the legs don't match the butt. And so from him
Mm.
saying that, we was at rehearsal one day. I don't know what we was looking at. And from him saying that, I started paying attention. I'm like, oh shoot. And then I start realizing they all kind of shaped alike. So the women in there they look fabulous, but they all look the same. I'm like we cloned, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if people paying attention to it. I'm like, they got us
Well,
really
I,
going.
well, people paying attention. They just don't think people are paying attention because when you exercise, the first thing you lose is your ass.
Oh, what had Brookie? What you say the first thing they lose? Girl. So
Yeah.
so this happens, right? So she's in the car,
Mhm.
she's moaning, right? And wait, who is this? Reese. Oh, hey Reese. How much for the payments? I'll just take your time. Girl, I was like looking, this was before she had the surgery. So they wheel her back
Right.
there and she like, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't like to hear people in pain. I hate hearing babies cry. So I'm like, what do we do? So the lady she can barely speak English. So she trying to give me the directions. And I'm like, babe, I told her, I said, you gotta step outside and talk to her. I don't need to know her personal business. But all I know is I would never get surgery just on this alone, y'all. So
Yeah.
the lady said she didn't want to get the medication. They told her over and over again she didn't want to pay an extra
Oh.
150. She didn't want to pay an extra 150. So I'm like, oh my God. So she get in the car, she get in my truck. We gotta ease her in out of thing. Dawn, I couldn't get to the corner. She was, so I'm like, she said, take me to the emergency room. Take me to the emergency room. So I'm driving, look nice. I'm like, God, what have I gotten myself into? All I wanted to do was take the lady to the thing to get a surgery and take her back. Now
Right.
I'm looking, I'm like, now is she bleed on my truck? I'm like,
Oh
Lord
my
Jesus. Because
God.
the bandages, I'm like, it was $19.99. It was $2,000
Oh.
for them to, it was for they call it a 360 garage garage
Garage
surgery, but
surgery. Yes.
so she like, So I said, listen, let's just get your medication. Let's just get the medication. You right? Hey, Keisha.
Mhm.
So I'm like, let's just get the medication. She said, I can't. So I drive over to the emergency room. So the people, I'm like, I say, get a wheelchair. So the daughter going there, y'all, the people had to come out to the truck. It took 20 minutes to get her out of the car because she was in excruciating pain because she didn't want to pay an
Mm.
additional 150. Let me tell y'all something. This is a prime example because I'm especially to the health people. I don't understand this. You save money at the grocery store. Bring your coupons to the grocery store. They got or go to Groupon. I get it. But when it come to your medical or your hair, y'all need to stop
Mhm.
playing. I'm like,
Yeah.
she can pay 150. So now they get her out, they take her in there because they giving her morphine. They gave her like 5 rounds of morphine. and she was trying to, her body was trying to calm down. So then I say, you know what? While you in there handling that, I'll take her prescription and get it done. You know what time that was? I picked her up at 2. They said the prescription wasn't gonna be ready till 7.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, y'all got it. Y'all stop playing with me. So the hospital was like, the emergency room was like, listen, we can ain't no po thing. Ain't no po thing, Keisha. The lady, they was like, listen, we can give her this to stabilize her, but she need to go into a hospital because they didn't know, like, they got to, whatever, she had the back sucked out. So I guess they put something in and they sucking it. Maybe they hit a nerve. No one knows. So I leave there, y'all. We wait 2 hours there, 3 hours. I tell, what did I do? I take the mother and the daughter, I take them to the other hospital, another hospital, and then I go back to get the prescription at 7. Then I come back, y'all. Listen, they had her in there for the whole day. Now, after that, the next morning, I said, I'll come pick you up, come pick her up. She got to go do I guess after surgery, the doctor got to look her over. I'm like, so I'm irritated. So I got to take her to the after whatever doctor or whatever. They take her there. On the way there, she got a bag and she's just throwing up. She was like, I'm hungry, but she just throwing up in this bag. And I'm just like,
yeah,
y'all, I will never. Listen to me. Unless it's medically needed, I ain't doing it. It wasn't
yeah.
worth it. And all of that, after all of that, I looked down the street, the lady ordering pizza. I said, what the?
That's why they're walking
3
around here
weeks,
looking like a duck.
3 weeks later, over 50, and it's what we doing.
Yeah, that's why they look like a duck. I mean, you just defacing your body. This is what I'm saying. You don't your self-worth and your value is so in the toilet till you just deface your body. So you go in and you have this surgery, then you don't have anyone to help you post surgery, right? We all have
Right,
somebody to help us post surgery, right? If we go in to
right.
have a surgery done, you know, so you don't have nobody that you identify with that cares about you, that want to see you alive,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to even nurse you back to health. So it's just a total disaster. And then after you happen to make it past post surgery, then you don't want to eat right, and you don't want to exercise. You don't want to
Fried
you don't
chicken.
you right. You don't change your diet, right? And then 20 years later, you don't have the money to do the maintenance because your damn ass is down here in the back of your leg. But down here, your ass done dropped. First it was sitting up, but you didn't go to, and maintain it. So now it done slid all the way down and probably done,
Mm,
done punctured it, all type of stuff. You know,
right.
you we do all type of foolishness. Maybe Ray told you to just go skydiving and you dived in the ocean, and then
Oh,
you got a leak, or
oh Lord.
you don't know. We be wilding out once we get stuff done. So
Right.
uh
No,
you have to
I'm not
you have
done.
all these
I'm not
tragedies.
done, Don. I'm not done. You ever heard the saying, no good deed goes unpunished?
No.
I'm not
Okay.
done.
Right.
So,
Oh, you wasn't done with the story. Lord have mercy.
Don, I ain't even done. So all this
Girl, good
happened.
night.
She called me and asked me, can I hang out? I don't want to hang out. That was a nightmare for me. I wasn't even the
Right.
one in the pain. It was a nightmare for me, right? So this happens, and then she calls me like a week later, and I think I was working. This is that by now I'm working where she calls me and says, oh, my daughter said she heard you talking about me. I said, what? Don?
Girl,
I
I'm gonna go to
said,
bed.
man, I said, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And she said, people get, that's why I cut people off, because people get jealous when you get your body together. I don't even know this lady.
Oh
I
my
know
God.
her because she's a neighbor, but she just went rambling on. And I said, Now you don't went and got the body done, but how you gonna fix your mindset? This somebody over 50 talking about foolishness. But I was angry at the fact that I had went over and beyond. I just
Mm-hmm.
thought I was dropping somebody off and picking somebody up. And that
Right.
turned into a 2-day ordeal. And for you to
Mm-hmm.
call and say that, I said, well, and I said, well, what did I say? And she said, I don't, she said she don't remember. Ma'am, don't call me ever in life. You understand what I'm saying? Let me see what Keisha's saying. Oh no, she sounds like she has buzzards luck. I would be done for a long while. Putting Reese says, putting your cape on, you're locked in now. Yeah, I said, but that, and I would still do that for somebody else. Like, because I don't let people, my experience with people deter me. But I do say what Don's saying, like you need a whole support team because she couldn't move, and they told her she was in excruciating pain. The doctor had did a great job, actually. The one who did the surgery, they said you should have just paid for you should have paid for the pain medication instead of saying I'm gonna wait till you get to the thing. And had excellent insurance. She had military insurance. I
That's
was
just
like,
ridiculous. That's just
it's
ignorant.
yeah. I'm like, where we do that at? But they moved away, honey. I didn't even look out. I saw them packing them. I didn't even go out there. I didn't care. I did not care. But that was my experience. So I'm telling you, people be showing you the after stuff, and they like, oh, you looking at them, and I guess especially the younger girls, they're looking at them and they're admiring them, but they don't tell you about what they go through to get to that place, and it's unnecessary. Like she actually had a nice shape. She just needed to exercise. She looked good. You know what I'm saying? For her age, all she needed to do was to exercise, and it wouldn't have took her long because all she had was this right here. But she said her back, so that would have been just some weights or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. It's like natural versus the whole Barbie thing. And what I realized too is the same thing with our hair. It's like we rather wear wigs and weave over and over and over and over again and never wear our own hair. And then when you take the person hair off, you're like, dang, she actually got beautiful hair. She actually has some really nice, long, thick hair. But over time, that hair starts thinning and stuff like that. You want to read this one, Don? That's Keisha.
Who's that? I know plenty of women here that had a tummy tucks, but they are worse than before because of their eating habits and are terrible. That's what I was saying earlier, Keisha. How you doing, baby? They that's exactly what we were saying earlier. They look like a duck because now you have a stomach, and then you have your behind that's sagging, and then you have your breast that's stuck out. You're just walking around here looking like a duck, just wobbling, overweight,
Right,
obese. If you're gonna put in all that work, you should maintain the body. You only have one body. So,
right,
and health is wealth. That's why I say it's a deterioration of the mind. They already, they were going in trying to fix the outer aesthetics and not working on the inside, in terms of eating right to maintain that body. You want to go in with a quick fix. Um, Barbies, you create. You have to go in inside and heal from within, not the outer aesthetics. So they will always crumble and fall apart. The body is gonna gonna decay, you know.
you know what else is bad? Now I've seen this too.
Mhm.
When you like older like that, and you I'm sorry, I'm sharing this with Facebook. When you're older like that, and you went and go get the butt done or whatever, and you look real that thing. I saw somebody, she had gray hair, and I was in
Yeah.
line. I was like, she had gray hair, but it was like a bob, so I thought it was just like a young girl because they had did a
Mhm.
great job sucking the fat out the back and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, okay, she looked good, honey. I went and looked. I went and looked at her or whatever. By the time I got up to the front, I was like, oh my God, this lady like 60 years old. That
Mm.
don't look good either. I'm like, now she got a 22-year-old body I'm like, well, what we doing?
Yeah.
What we doing, y'all? It looks
Yeah.
so like crazy. So these are things that I just want to talk about, but that was a nightmare for me. I was like, and this is an older woman, and it's a lot of women
Hmm.
that's doing it, and I'm like, you look nice, but you got some other stuff that we got to work on. Keisha say, I
Yeah.
saw some hair videos today in which their braids were so tight. One lady was so cheap. She refused to take the hair out. She sprayed icy hot on her hair and told her followers it worked. I ain't never heard of Keisha. I never heard of Don. They put icy hot on people's head.
Icy
You
hot,
know
the
what
ice
icy?
pack,
No,
the ice
icy
pack.
hot.
What's that?
That's
The ice pack.
no, Don. Wait, she said. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Plenty of. She sprayed icy. She sprayed icy hot. Isn't that for like inflammation or like for like arthritis or something like that?
That's what I was
Child, y'all
saying. Is
can't.
it not? It's not an ice pack.
No, it's a spray that like if you have like pain for arthritis or you've been working out or
Oh.
running, you get sore, they spray it
Uh huh.
on you. Yeah, let me see. I saw another woman who got box braids and she was a nut wait, she has a routine every time she get her hair done. She put a cold towel on her hair and an ice pack on her head. This another lady. Icy hot is for pain. Icy hot is a
Okay.
spray. It's for pain. It's
Okay.
not an ice
So
pack.
normally when the pain is inflammation, so
Right.
that you have to stop the service. I think I was just writing down something I was going to post later on this week. But when you're having we have signs of allergic reactions, but we sit through the pain. Just like the lady said, she denied I don't want any pain medication, which is ludicrous. Like who wouldn't want pain medication after surgery? You know what I mean? The doctor give you that for your tooth. So it's like the it's the mind is in a state of decay and you're not really listening, because if you really listen to the person, they'll tell you their state of mind. Their state of mind will be revealed to you based on what they are saying. Are you in the process of maintaining your beauty, or are you on the verge of destroying it? Are you here? Are you about to commit suicide when it comes to your body? Because those are the actions in which you are taking. You are destroying your temple. Okay, when you sit and have your false lashes applied to your eyes, and your eyes begin to water, you are having an allergic reaction. The body is rejecting the service, and you're supposed to stop. You're supposed to stop what you are doing. You're not supposed to keep patting and patting and patting the face. Put the fan, to cool it off. The body is rejecting the service.
Mm,
Before each storm, there's always warning. Every storm, the weather's going to change. It's going to get windy. The sun is out now, but the weather's going to change when the storm is headed your way. So the signs and things are already there, but we're not paying attention, not until our body completely break down. You have people
right,
still
right,
smoking and walking around with an oxygen tank. So it's the mind. It's a mental decay of the mind. So you have to ask yourself before you, even now with new relationships, you have to say to yourself, where is this person mentally? Because after a certain age, you don't need new friends, right? You may need
mm-mm,
associates
mm-mm.
for whatever, business arrangements or whatever it is you got going on. But in terms of friends, you have to be mindful of the state of mind people are in, because their mind is
Right.
in such a state of decay. You know, Your health should be your number one priority.
Mm,
It should be your number one priority. Not trying to see how big your ass can get and how flat your stomach can get, because that's not who the guys are marrying. That might be the person that they having a good time with,
that's
but
right.
those aren't the people that they're marrying. Because when I see their wives got stomachs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Child, so Reese said you athletes use icy hot on legs and shoulders for comfort. This lady using
Oh,
it for her hair. You can't make that up. Keisha say
what?
icy hot has lidocaine in it. It's a numbness medication. They even use it in dental procedures to numb you up so you don't feel anything. Wow. Keisha also say, yes, Don, that's true. I think this beauty industry has messed up our mental state and how we see ourselves. And then
Mhm.
Reese says, a frugal person will go without pain meds. Listen, it didn't have to. 150. And she went through agony and pain, y'all, for at least 24 hours. Because they
Yes,
kept
her
giving her
body. I'm pretty sure
morphine.
they're shocked.
Yeah, she went into shock.
Yes.
I can't. I was like, child, please, ain't no way, honey. You gonna love me with this belly or not, child? I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm like, to though. And let me tell you something. This is something I was saying back in the days. I was like, we got some bad sisters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got it going on. It's like some of us, you don't even need to be doing stuff.
Look at Angela
Some of us don't
Bassett.
need, huh?
Look at Angela Bassett.
That now you can't play with her. They had a picture of her from 2002. I think it was 2002 to 2025. I said, play with it. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like then I look at and I love
Diana
Vivica Fox.
Diana
I
Ross.
thought huh?
Diana Ross.
Yeah, Diana Ross look good now. Now she look
Right.
even her wigs. She keep her wigs up, honey. Them wigs stay the same. She got
Okay.
them in the closet, but they all look the same. She don't switch them
Mhm.
out. She's like,
Right.
y'all already know what I want. You know what I'm saying? A 1B, you know. Diana Ross. But then you look
A
at
rock
other people
star.
that have gotten addicted. It was this lady they were showing. I forgot what they call her. She was addicted to the plastic surgery. But one of the things I want to say real quick is that
Joan
notice
Rivers.
how Keisha, huh?
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. Now Joan. Now let me tell you something.
Yeah,
Joan had
Joan
a
Rivers
whoever did
driving her table.
her but whoever did Joan Rivers plastic surgery when she got it done. Now Joan looked good. I'm sad that she passed away, but Joan, I said, now she don't look like she. The problem was with Joan's body was too frail and too old to be
Right.
having that 35-year-old
Hmm.
face on her. So I was just
Hmm.
like, but then you have celebs like Vivica Fox that they say she went and got her butt done, and I'm like, I used to think that she was one of the most beautiful women in the world. I still do, but it's just like she didn't really have to do anything. Like just we have to learn to just embrace and know that we're going to grow old and grow old gracefully. You want to read that, Don,
I'm a bit
Keisha?
far
Okay,
from Keisha.
I
Coach Lee, that's your question.
okay, Coach Lee, you made me think of myself when my aunt boyfriend was around the corner from my house and he got jumped on by a guy in dice game and he asked me to take him to the emergency room. He had the money for the ambulance. That now I had a relative that my relatives they got into a fight and my one of them called the ambulance. And my mom turned to him and said, she said, you got money for the ambulance? He said, I got to pay for that. She said, yes, that's a bill too. So they sent them on the way. And guess what? He had to catch the bus to the hospital. You can't make this stuff up.
What? Did he
Hey, that was
survive?
back in the 90s. I was like, he can't, I don't even think it was that expensive. So yeah, Don, that's crazy. He
He's
was bleeding
yeah.
everywhere. I gave him a towel and told she say, I gave him a towel and told him, hey, don't be bleeding all over my car. hold that towel up. Oh my God, Keisha. Oh, they told me I was wrong. No, you wasn't. My sister had got her taxes and got me a Nissan Sentra. That was a nice car. You ain't lying. That was my first car, Keisha. So yes, I would have did the same. You was nice because you put him in there. Because this lady, when she got out, I had to bleach my seats because the bandages was falling off. It was just some hood stuff. I was like, anytime you gotta go get plastic surgery and they tell you 1999 or whatever, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just like, and it's just like it doesn't make. I don't know, but they have it. They like it's called the 360. So they suck all the fat out, and that is it. But I was pointing out what Keisha was talking about the hair, and she was saying how the lady put icy hot on her scalp because the braids were so tight, but she didn't want to take the braids out. So she's going to lose her hair. That is the inevitable. If that's her practice and she keeps doing that, eventually she don't have to worry about putting icy hot. It's gonna keep going back. She's gonna keep going back and keep going back and doing that, doing her thing. Uh but I wanted to make the example, like, whew, she didn't even have to do that. Natural, a lot of things that we think is bad. Like I remember in high school, my daughter had long hair, and she said the girl said to her, "Oh, you don't have no weave in that? That's your hair? I wouldn't do my hair." Like it was bad to be natural. It was bad to be natural. You because everybody was wearing weave. And she was like, "Mom, can you stop putting weave?" I said, "Jay, you don't need weave in your hair." It was a time. But I said, if you want a little color, I'll put a little tape, put a little hot pink in there, you know what I mean? Whatever for her hair. But I told her, I said, don't let people make you feel shame for wanting to be able to be authentically in your own skin. You're a beautiful girl. Like I always would tell her, you're a beautiful girl. So stay as natural as possible, because you start injecting yourself with all kind of these toxins and things like that. And then years later, now you battling all these different things. It will catch up to you. Let me tell you the easiest way I always say it. Now, Eve looked good, but not all of y'all who went and got them paws on y'all breasts in the 90s, them paws look like the tiger is falling off like he dragging his nails through the wall, and it just stretched all down. Eve ain't got a problem because I said, okay, hers still look cute, right? But you get older. You know what I mean? You're gonna get older. You got the tiger on the side like that. Now you're gonna be 75 with the tiger. The tiger ain't got no teeth in his head. You got to think about these things. Like me, I like things that are classic, meaning like no matter how old it is, it's always going to be around. It's always going to be nice. But we don't be thinking like that. We be going with the trend, right? And so natural is health. Reese says natural is healthier and preferred. It is, but you can't shun it, because the thing is, and I realize this, is that if you push natural hair, if you push whatever, you push healthy hair, your clients will go with you. This is for the cosmetologist. Your clients will go with you because they looking at how you carry your hair. They looking at, okay, well, her hair look good. She don't look like she have no issues. And they'll trust you, and they'll say, okay, let me work with and start working with my own natural hair. Um, I believe in doing seminars, free seminars for your clients. I believe, educational seminars, to help them understand they have other options and they don't have to just continue with that whole thing. And it goes back to when men say they just want they. I admit, I had a man say he don't even care if your breast sag. He like, I'd rather feel that than to feel hardness. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So I didn't know it feel hard. I thought silicone feels soft on. It depends on the doctor. If you go to a 1999 doctor or if you go to a real doctor, is that what it is?
In terms of
The hardness.
this,
Why does the breast feel hard?
um, from the research, I think
I thought it was soft because it
it's
was
an object
silicone.
in the body. It's an
Yeah.
object in the body, so it's gonna, it's not a, it's a foreign object in the body. So things
Yeah.
have to move around. So it's gonna harden. Tissue's gonna harden. You know, it's just like how they have those different things that gather on the surface of the sea. You'd be like, what's how that stuff just get all that stuff get on the on that item? So
Yeah.
that's my
Honey,
thought process, but that's not my area, but that's my thought process.
Keisha say, I hate that we hate ourselves so badly. I saw a woman the other day and her lace front was lifting up and it was hot here and she was beautiful, but the wig was lifting and the foundation was obvious. Now they had a meme, Keisha. It said, what the meme said, Don, it said, child, they said, it y'all something like y'all wearing these lace fronts and the glue, y'all got glue on it. Y'all could be firefighters. Because firefight, you know what I mean? Firefighters with a hard hat. And it was funny if you read it. I was like, oh my God. It said, you a firefighter? It's 95 degrees. You got that glue and the glue lifting up. So that's that. So then Reese says tennis balls. Oh, the breasts are hard like tennis balls. I thought it was soft. And then Keisha says, we have a beauty store going out of business. It is probably because of tariffs, but everybody is buying wigs. It's a lot of hair styling products left too to me, and that saying a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of times when y'all see, especially the cosmetologist products in there, like the professional products, those products be like shelved products. Like the cosmetologist got into the business. The people come by, we buy products from the real from the distributor, and then they sit and they probably knew and they trying to build up their clientele. It takes about a year to build up your clientele, so a lot this generation don't want to wait that long. So then they buy they starter kit their products, and then they sit and then they just say and I can't keep coming here waiting for a walk-in to come, and they leave, and then they sell the products to those people, or they put it
Oh
on
wow.
Amazon and they sell it on Amazon.
Mhm.
So
I didn't know that.
that's why I always tell you guys, do not purchase product. Like, you purchase at your own risk. Even at Walmart, you purchase at your own
Mhm.
risk. Um, yeah, so that's all we have for the beauty. Don, you have anything else to add to that?
Uh, God bless. Good night. I'm tired.
Woo! Listen, I'm going to watch Bridgerton again, but I love that show because I love the fact, again, it was so simple. It was like, let me just add some accessories. Let me get me a nice dress, add some accessories, and she shifted the room. But today we don't even believe in that. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. We don't believe in the simple things. And so instead we go and we risk our lives just to look like everybody else. It's a lot of us
Right.
that just look like cloned sisters. Y'all hear me? Cloned. So I want to thank you guys. Now, next week we are talking about Don. I wrote it down, but it's on the phone. I'm scared to pull it up. How something to do with the children. Remember we was talking about that for pedophiles, that we need to be mindful of that. How we
Of
style
how
our
we dress.
children,
Yeah.
how we dress and style our little girls. We're gonna definitely get into that because school had came back in, and the mothers were so proud of the lace fronts. I did a quick video on two. You guys were putting two. Some women are putting lace fronts on 2-year olds and the adhesive, and we just was talking about some things, Don and I. So next week is going to be about how we dress our kids, and we're dressing our kids for basically for the pedophiles. And so that's going to be a great topic because we got a lot of things to talk about on that. And I do want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Nobody has went on to Salon Talk and subscribed, y'all. Let me know, are you guys able to find it? Because I put the link in there. Are you able to find it, or y'all just be like, child, we off and goodbye? Just be honest. Because I'm like, wait a minute, it's the same. I'm like, y'all just refuse to. That topic is needed. you ladies. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Keisha.
Okay, I'm gonna put the link in again, Keisha. All we need to do is just click the link and just subscribe because we really want to get everybody on that channel instead of this channel as well. All right, so I'm gonna put the link in when it posts. It's not gonna post till tomorrow. Please, please, guys, go to the link when you see it and click on it and just subscribe. All right. I appreciate you guys. Don, love you to pieces. Thank you for being an awesome co-host. Guys, thank you for tuning in to Salon Talk. We will see you guys, Lord's will, next week, 7
All
p.m.
right, Reese.
on Salon Talk. Smooches. Bye, Keisha. Bye, Reese. You too. Have a great week.
Take care.